So thank you all so much for joining us. We have Shawn Mosch here with Saturdays are for Cricut Crafting, and we are going. Sorry, we had to do this all over again, but we are excited to have Shawn joining us today. Shawn is in Minnesota, and I found her through her website on shawnmosch.com. To teach us everything about crafting. So this is our second time that we've had her come on. In the spring, we had our first of our classes. We did a six-week series, and this one's a 5-week series because we've got the holiday mixed in here with Thanksgiving. So our last series will actually be 2 hours, and this one will be an hour. And if you missed our first class, which was last Saturday, it is on our AARP Texas YouTube page, and just search for Saturdays are for crafting or holiday Cricut crafting on our YouTube page. So Shawn, thank you so much for joining us today. I know we were gonna get started with, well, should we start with it? Does anybody have any questions from last week's class?
Yep.
If you do, just raise your hand and you can talk. Next week, we'll have our chat feature on here so that you can type it in. But if you do have a question, just raise your hand and we can ask you at that point.
I just want to thank AARP for partnering with me. This has been amazing. Before the pandemic, I was teaching in person at a local craft store. And once we all went home, I had to very quickly pivot and take all of my teaching and turn it into an online presentation. In the beginning, a lot of people were worried about going on Zoom and how to navigate that. But now that we've found it, it's a great way for us to craft across the country like this with, like Veronica mentioned, she's in Texas, I'm in Minnesota, but we can still do this.
So I think Jeanette had a question. Jeanette, could you unmute yourself so that we could you could ask your question? Jeanette, you're still on mute.
Okay. I did not get your complete email address to update my contact.
Okay. It's VDELAFUENTE@AARP.org.
Oh, it's .org. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get that last part. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's okay.
You gotta get everything so that you can get what you need.
All right, great. We've got 24 people on here. So Shawn, let's get ready.
All right, I am going to switch over my screen. All right, you should see my Cricut Design Space canvas. And if the list of participants is covering up your layers panel, you can just grab that and move it, or even minimize it so you don't see it at all to help you, because you're going to want to see as much of the screen as possible. So last week we made a holiday card. This week we had talked at the end of the last class about doing some gift tags. So I'm just gonna type this. I like to do a lot of things with free shapes because I'm a thrifty girl. I'm not gonna pay a bunch of money for stuff when I can do it for free. So I'm gonna start by inserting a square. And then I am going to go up here to the unlock button. It looks like a little padlock. If I make this 2 inches high by, let's just say 3 inches wide, you can see now it's erecting. Now if I take another shape, let's do this circle. And let's make that also 2 inches in height. Perfect. And I'm just going to bring it over here to line that up. And you can kind of see how the outline of this is going to make a tag shape. Now I want to show you a little trick. Even if I set this down here, I can grab everything by doing a big window around it and saying align to the top. See how that just snapped everything in place? So now with both of those selected, I'm going to go down here to the lower right corner. My design space just updated, so I now have the combine function. If you're still on the older version, this will say weld. But now what I can do is go under here and select weld. And what weld does, see how it joined those two pieces together? Now it's all one piece. It basically got rid of that cut line where things were overlapping. So that's how you can use weld to kind of make this gift tag kind of shape. And I'm going to change the color of it. I'm going to go under advanced, kind of find a light kind of teal blue. I also want to put a circle in here that's going to cut out of the tag, so we have something to string some ribbon through. So I'm going to go back to my shapes and add another circle. I'm going to size that one down. And if I want to make it an exact size, I can type that in up here. So now I want to make sure that it is perfectly going through the center of this tag this way. So I'm going to select everything and say align, center it. Oops, sorry, that's not right. Let's try that again. Align, center vertically. There we go. So now it's right down the center of the gift tag. Now I want to cut that hole out. Can I like punch it through with a paper punch? And what I can do is just click slice. When I move this away, you see it slice that right out. This stuff is garbage and I can just delete it. So that's how I would make a gift tag shape totally for free. Now you can go under images and go tag. And now you're going to see all kinds of pre-designed tags. Since I do not subscribe to Cricut Access, which is the membership fee, what you're seeing here are the prices that this image would cost me. But if you look at this, like this one is basically what we just did with it rounded on both ends. So if I wanted to make this exact image, I could keep making it with free shapes. So that's how I'm a little thrifty, is sometimes I might find my inspiration for a tag and then just make it. Like this is another one you can make by combining shapes. Any questions on either how to find a tag under images, the pricing on images, or how I made this tag with free shapes? All right. If not, what we're going to do next is add some text to this tag. So in my house, my kids are older. They're both in their 20s. So I just do tags up for them. I don't put the from because they know it's all from me and my husband. So if I click on this text button, you'll see this text box comes up. You can double click on it in order to highlight that text. And I'm just going to start making my gift tags for this Christmas. This is going to be for my daughter, Beth. Well, I want this to write with the Cricut pens. Right now, you can see up here, the operation says basic cut. I could change this to pen. And it's going to then draw that, but it's going to draw the outline of the letters. And let me explain why. That is because the Cricut pen and the Cricut blade are both going to follow the same path, which is that outline of the letters. It's just going to draw that outline. It's not going to color it in. If you want to, you can color it in yourself. But if you wanted to write just like a straight line, here's what you're going to need to do. Under the Cricut font, right here, we're going to select on that. And then over here to the right, there's a filter. I'm going to filter to writing style. I am also going to add free, because I'm doing this for free. Oh, this one is a nice one, actually. So now when I pick that, it's still, okay, so it switched it to a basic cut, but if I go under this style, I can see that there is a writing option. So you really have to pay attention to that writing option. So now this will draw or write with the Cricut pens because the style is writing and the operation is pen. Does that make sense? Okay, so I actually want to make several of these. Well, I'm going to duplicate. And to duplicate, I just selected both and I right click and there's a duplicate button. Like I said, I'm just going to get my gift tags done for this Christmas. So now you know my family names. I want this to be centered in this gift tag. So I'm going to go back and select this and use our align center vertically to make sure that this lettering stays stuck right where I have it placed. I'm going to use the attach button. That's found in the lower right corner. Looks like a paper clip. So now that I've attached it, I can click on the gift tag and they all move together. I haven't attached Tom, so if I click on that gift tag, see how Tom moves separately? Because they're not attached yet. So let's align those vertically and attach. Moving this vertically and attach. Okay, so attach is what's holding that lettering in place. Now we're gonna click make it, and I'm gonna go and make things happen in the craft room. Actually, I have to first make sure my Cricut is turned on. We weren't going to do much because my Cricut wasn't turned on. Okay, so when I click make it, the next screen you're going to see is the map preview. And you're going to see all the items here. But when we look over here on the left-hand side, it's telling us the first step we're going to do is with the pen. And then the second step we're going to do is with the basic cut. If I wanted to make, like I knew I was getting everybody 3 presents, I could actually click this up to 3 and go apply. And look at that. Now it filled up the sheet with gift tags. I think I'm actually going to do that because you know what? It probably would be good. Okay, so the next step is to hit continue. Any questions before we go to the machine and have the machine do its magic? All right, I don't hear anything. So I'm going to go continue. It's going to connect to my Cricut via Bluetooth. It's going to tell me that I have my material set on vinyl, so I'll change that when I get into the Cricut craft room. And it's telling me to load my black pen because I had black selected as my color for my pen. Okay, switching screens. We're gonna grab our Cricut mat. The plastic covering, make sure you save that. It's really good to put back on and save your mats for not getting as much dust on them. Okay, so I'm going to put my piece of paper in the upper left corner. I am going to grab a Cricut pen. Now, my machine only has one holder. So what I have to do is flip open this little gray tab, take out my blade. Then I use this adapter. It's a Cricut brand adapter. You can buy them at any craft store. And then I put the Cricut pen into the adapter so it holds the pen in place. If you have one of the Cricuts that has two of these cartridge holders, there'll be one that says B. That's where you put your blade. Just remember, B is for blade. The A one is where you're going to put accessories. Accessories are your pens, your scoring stylus, things like that. Okay, so now I'm just going to insert that and close the clamp. Here's the paper from my last craft project, just got stuck. Okay, slide the mat in and get it underneath these little grooves here. I like to hold the end of my mat so that when it loads, it pulls it in nice and clean. Your double arrow is going to be blinking. So I'm going to push that and that's what loads it. Now remember, on the Design Space screen, the first step it said was it's going to work with the pen. So when I press the C to get it started, it's going to go and with the pen, write all the letters. Let me see if I can. All right. Just let the Cricut do its thing. There's some spots on here where it looks like it didn't finish a letter. The Cricut, there's a method to its madness. Sometimes it goes through and does all of its horizontal lines and then comes back and does vertical lines or curved lines. Part of that is because it's actually allowing the ink to dry a little bit before it comes over the same section for another pass, because we don't want to smudge our writing. We're doing this so that we can have pretty writing, and it'd be bad if it smudged it. I did make these gift tags a little big, but the nice thing is now that I have them with the lettering all attached, if I wanted to make them smaller, I could just resize them on the mat. Okay. Now I'm changing the dial on my Cricut to cardstock because that's what I'm using is cardstock. If you have one of the newer machines, you'll be able to select your material right on the Design Space screen. I'm going to move this out a little bit because my back of my mat was kind of getting up against the wall. So now you'll notice that the C is blinking. That's because it's waiting for me to do the next step. If the double arrow was blinking, that would be my cue to unload the mat. But it's still got to do the next step with this mat in, which is the cutting. So let's put the blade back in. And now we can hit the C. Okay. Okay, so now you'll notice the double arrow is blinking, so we unload. And now, let's see. Yep. You can see the names on there plus the cut. One thing I do like to do is flip my mat over like this to take things off. It helps so that your paper doesn't curl as much. But there you go, a gift tag all ready to go with the name on it. And I can just kind of, wow. I am that crazy person who see those little dots. I'll take those off. And I have a whole jar of little dots. If you do cards that have shaker elements in them, these work really good for the inside. Or sometimes I will do like a happy birthday card and I'll make it look like it's raining confetti down by just gluing a whole bunch of random dots on there. And these work great for that. So I'm going to pop back into my office where I have the better speaker so I can hear if we have any questions on making gift tags. Questions on the process. You don't even have a machine yet?
No.
So you can actually go to Cricut.com and download Design Space, which is the software that I've been showing, and start to play with it and start to learn the software before you even get your machine, because then you can make and save projects and you have them ready to go. If there's something that you're like, hey, I really want to learn how to do this, I can adapt my class for that. Oh, I need to share my screen again. One moment while I find the screen. There we go. So let's go back into Design Space. So if I were to pick a shape like this, say I wanted to make a tag this way. I inserted a circle. I'm going to make that circle a different color just so it stands out for being visible. If I select everything, and now this time I'm going to center horizontally. Oh, I had that pretty center. So with this new combine feature, instead of slicing like I did the first time, I can go under combine and exclude. Well, I think I want to subtract. If I click subtract, see how it sliced the hole out and got rid of that extra stuff? So it's kind of like doing slice, only it didn't leave me remnants that I had to delete, if that makes sense. I could just start showing some other things. Oh, if you go under projects, you can see projects that other people are doing. And I can go to my projects this way. And I've started to categories, guys, yeah, put mine into categories. Cards, Christmas, scrapbook layouts, stickers. So you can see what the other people are doing. And if you like something that somebody else made, you can do the little heart to like it. And then under projects, you can say saved. And here's all the projects I've saved or liked. So then when I come back later, I can quickly and easily make these. I made these just recently. They're adorable. I'm a big Disney fan. If you go to the sandwich, these three little lines are called the sandwich. You can see your profile. Here's mine. So that you can see projects I share. When you first come into Cricut Design Space, they're going to have some things that are recommended for you. Usually that's what's the newest. I'm gonna guess some of the newer stuff is gonna start to show the images you can edit. But there's gonna be a lot of Christmas and Halloween, Thanksgiving stuff going on right now. And you can also see what's new in the community. So what other people have uploaded. Last minute makes, here's where they're pushing the Halloween stuff hard because it's the last weekend to get that done. These lollipop holders in different styles have been so popular. A lot of people who are teachers are making them to hand out to the kids, or the moms that do the different holiday parties and things like that. So to get back from the home to where we are designing things, you're going to just click on Canvas. Now I'm kind of going back to like basics. You know, if people don't have questions, I can just go back to basics. Under templates, you'll find some pre-designed templates for, let's say you want to put a design on a candle or a clipboard. Here's my 2 cents on templates. They might make a basic template, but like if you want to put a decal on your Cricut machine, this is obviously going to be a really good resource for you. But if you want to put it on your dishwasher, how do they know the size of the dishwasher? To me, it's better to just measure your dishwasher. And for example, what I would do is if I measured my dishwasher and said that it is 36 inches wide by zoom out. Yep, that was in. So what I would start off is something like this to say, this is the size of my dishwasher. Then design my elements inside here so that they fit. It's really bad. So then under projects, this is where you can find projects, things that are popular, things that are kind of pushing the newest Cricut features. You can also go by category. So if you're looking for just cards, there you go. Whole bunch of cards. You can even search projects. Let's go back to all categories. If you're a dog lover, you want to see every project that has to do with dogs in here, from a dog collar to a personalized dog bookmark. Now that's one way you can quickly find some of those things and then like them to add them to your saved designs. I do a ton with basic shapes, including the card that we did last week. And you have for free some basic shapes here. This is a score line, which we used last week. If you pay for access, which I do not, you also get all of these shapes for free. I use a lot of places that offer free SVG files, and I download their SVGs because, I mean, I'm a heavy duty crafter, and even I wouldn't really use the Cricut Access $10 a month. So there is a free trial of it. I always say, don't start your free trial right away when you open your box. Learn the software, make and save some projects, then hit your free trial once you've had the project set up and just make them all at the same time. Because right now, if I go to images, I browse all images, even though that image says an A on it for Cricut Access, I can still add it to my canvas. It hasn't charged me for it yet. It's not until I hit make it and I try to cut it that it's going to charge me for it. So I could design this, I could change the lettering around, whatever I want to do, and then save it. And then a month from now, when I'm like, oh, I have a free crafting day, I could start my free trial then. Images, there's a ton of images in here. They do switch out which ones are free every few months. So you can scroll through and see some different free images. This one right here is free right now. And this is part of the new images that you can edit. So everything that's black is a stationary image, but the stuff that is the blue outline, I can double click on that and change it out to whatever I want. And I think I can change the font too. If that is a really terrible font for that design. I could rotate it. So those are the brand new images that they just introduced that you can edit and do things with. I think I can curve it. Nope, I cannot curve it. Go back to images again. There's another one. So I've seen a lot of people where they find an image like this, with half a snowflake. And it's originally designed with the saying like this, but they want to change it out. So now with these images, we can edit. Like I could change this out to say, wow, I can't type today. I can slow this down. There we go. So now that would be a cute, like to put on an ornament with my whole family's names listed out. I was able to really easily edit that because of the new images. All right, so we're at 11 o'clock, which is our appointed time for stopping. So I didn't know if Veronica had any closing remarks. Is everybody signed up for next week? What do you want to make next week? Any ideas?
Does anybody have any thoughts about what they'd like to do next week?
I think I see somebody talking, but you're muted. Remember, unmute yourself.
Ornaments? Sorry. Oops, I was talking, but I have my friend here, so I was talking to her.
Gotcha. Ornaments. Are you talking about putting like vinyl decals on ornaments?
I don't know. Yeah, sure.
Or we could do ornaments out of cardstock.
Okay.
Okay, I'll play with
Maybe
some
both.
ideas. We do both. We do one week and one next week. Okay.
All right, sounds good. Well, again, if you have any questions about what was covered today, it will be loaded onto our YouTube page. It's youtube.com/AARP Texas, and you can find the videos on there. They will be loaded on Tuesday after lunch, so just so you know. And you can watch last week's episode. I say episode next week. Sorry. Last week's episode is already loaded onto our website, onto our YouTube page. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me or Shawn. Again, my email address is vdelafuente, DELAFUENTE @aarp.org. And so we look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye.